Subscribe now. EU debates.
By the President of Ukraine. Madam President, ladies and gentlemen, dear journalists, I'm very happy to welcome you once again in Ukraine, and it's already the second have regular telephone conversations, and still your visits, they underline the important your role in supporting Ukraine in our joint struggle for the freedom in Europe, and I'm grateful for this support that you're providing. Now it's the decisive time, not only for Ukraine, but for the European Union and for the whole European continent. It is at this moment that we are identifying the future for the unified Europe and whether there will be a future. Russia wants to divide Europe, wants to weaken Europe, and the whole Europe is a target for Russia, and we are confident Ukraine is on their first stage in their plans. That's why the positive response of the EU to Ukraine's application for a membership can become a positive answer to a question whether there is a future for the European project. The Ukrainian people has done a tremendous contribution for the defense of our freedom, of our shared values. Thousands of Ukrainian lives were given for making sure that we are able to live as human, we are able to live in freedom. And over this war, we have proven that public and social institutions remain resilient. Our people are integrated with the European environment. In just a very short period of time, we have provided comprehensive answers to the questionnaire. The first part of that questionnaire you personally provided to me in Kiev in the beginning of April. And then next week, we are expecting an opinion of the European Commission on whether Ukraine complies with the Copenhagen criteria for membership in the European Union. The survey that was made in the European countries clearly showed that the vast majority of the European people consider Ukraine a part of the European family. That's fair, and the recognition at the political level of this reality, this is something that we are 4th of June, and there will be a historical session of the European Council with the logical outcome of a decision in support of the candidate status for Ukraine. Of course, our people clearly understand that this status is only a beginning of its path to accession. Of course, we have some achievements in reforms in implementation of the association agreement between the EU and Ukraine, in industrial integration, and of course, Ukraine still needs to take this path from the candidacy to a fully fledged membership, but everyone has seen that Ukrainian they are ready to fight for their futures. That is why they will do everything for their integration into Europe. The European project will not be able to be finished without Ukraine. And it's evident now when Ukrainian people are defending the future for themselves and for the other nations in Europe. And I'm grateful for the EU, for the sanction policy against Russian Federation. That helps a lot in our struggle. Sanction packages has become a tool for exerting pressure upon Russia. Unfortunately, the war continues, and sanctions has to be even stronger. Particularly, there should be sanctions against all public officials of Russia, all the judges working in support of war, in support of repressions. The European Union has to funding of its anti-European policy of Russia, then we would need to have sanctions against all of the Russian companies that are assisting or helping in any way to Russia, both militarily or in undermining the democracy or undermining the freedom of speech. And of course, the European Union has to work to make sure there is no use of Russian energy resources that Ukraine and for every country of the EU. We are also working on other directions of the sanctions policy, and I'm very grateful for the significant financial support for Ukraine, including the proposal of the European Commission on the new program of assistance to Ukraine and the total amount of €9 billion, as well as all the efforts directed in support of the reconstruction process of Ukraine after the war. We are coordinating our steps in order to coordinate our national plan for reconstruction. Ukraine. I believe that together with the European Commission and the European countries, we will create all the preconditions for the implementation, the most ambitious project that would mean the full and comprehensive reconstruction of Ukraine after this war. We already had the decision on cancelling the excise duties and customs duties of Ukrainian products to the EU. Expert in the sphere of transportation, we've already started negotiations on signing the agreement on liberalization of automobile and rail transportation. In terms of coordinating our energy network, we already have achieved a lot of new decisions, and we are able to export the Ukrainian energy currently to the European Union, and all of that reinforces Ukraine, all of that reinforces our neighbors in the EU, and I believe they would reinforce, they make stronger the whole European Union. And for this visit and for your personal presence, not only here physically, but your constant, your permanent assistance to our country. And I know that you are providing that assistance on a day-to-day basis to Ukraine. Now this statement by the President of the European Commission.